Hello, folks. How is everyone doing out there in the real world? Oh, you know what? I forgot to take the that off. Hey, I'm really here. I was under there. I was hiding underneath there, so just everybody knows. And ask any community member if they wanted to come in and join today. And Mark volunteered. Hey, Mark, how are you, sir? You can unmute and say hey.
Hey.
I love your little hashtag down there, not AI or whatever. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's awesome.
That's the real
Let's see here. So what do we got in from Misawa, Japan? What? Wow. Now in California, not Canada. There you go. And then Mike from Niagara Falls. There you go. Jolin from the low country. They're starting to give temperatures, 64. Oh, look, Jim's coming in too. Jim's going to come in and join us. Oh, let me pull that off the screen. Hey, Jim, what's going on, sir?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you? We're live. We're just live talking tech stuff. So I'm just right now I'm finding everybody where they're all from and where they all are, and they're all giving me their temperatures and stuff too. So what kind of temperature you got down there?
Right now, it is, let me check just to make sure, 83 degrees.
Oh, wow. How about that?
It's gorgeous here, too. So, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I have to recognize this. Richard, look at that.
Holy
Thank you so much for the super chat. Didn't mean to interrupt you. But I just want to. But that one was worth it. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Wow, LJ says from extremely windy northeastern Ohio. I get it.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, okay.
I hate it being windy.
I hear you. Yes, I hear you. Anybody else, if you come in, be sure and put where you're from, country, city, state, etc. So tell us again, Jim.
Fort Lauderdale, South Florida.
Okay, all right. Now, is it windy down there?
No, there was a little bit of a nice breeze today, but I wouldn't call it windy at all. No, it was a little bit too windy for me to go out diving, though. On the last day of lobster season this year was the end of March 31st, and I had scheduled it, and the day before they called me up and canceled and said so I had to get my money back. It was heartbreaking. I only have so many lobster tails in the freezer, and they have
I get it. I told my wife when she came down there, she went she left out of Lauderdale for the cruise, and I told her, I said, you need to go by and see them. Guarantee you they'll hook you up.
Absolutely. You might never see her again. It could work out. So what kind of things are you talking about?
I want to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about. The big thing that I wanted to just say and bring up, and thanks everybody for doing the early show. I know I'm doing the early show today only because obviously, with me, it's always about baseball, especially this time of season. So I'm always doing that.
Wrong with that. That's perfectly okay.
I hear you. And so that's the reasoning for the early start today. And who knows, through all baseball season, I might be doing an early show. Anyway, what does it matter as long as we do the show? That's the way I look at it. And so I really didn't have a topic or a guest. So I said, hey, I want to invite the whole community. Anybody that wants to come in and just chat and talk some tech. I think we have to mention, Mark, you and I did this last time. We started with the AI thing. I think any AI. I think we need to talk about anything. Chat, GPT, AI.
Yeah. Who's the Al guy? Everybody's talking about Al. I was reading all about it's AI. Okay, sorry.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I think you got a little misspelling there going on, but
it looks like Al. It could be Al.
It could. So what's your opinion there, Jim, on that? I know you guys are big time into I know that some Google products and stuff like that are starting to implement some of that kind of stuff. Got any opinions?
Yeah, well, we're looking at all of those things. In fact, we just came up and Chris wrote an article about it for our newsletter that's just going out right now.
Nice.
Yeah, and anyway, it's about planning a trip using ChatGPT in this case, but any of the AIs that are out there, the Bards from Google and the one
Wow.
from Microsoft, the Bing,
Mhm.
and then the ChatGPT, and if you can get the four, and supposedly this there are dashboards coming out, and I just read something about GPT-5, and it's not going to stop there. It's not going
I
to stop.
know. I
And the
know.
rapid implementation of this in so many different fields is going to be life changing for all of us. I don't
I
care
agree.
who we are, where we are, what we're doing. It's going to change
I
our
agree.
lives in some way, shape, or
I
form.
agree. And look, just
Michael,
for you, Mark, look, I put ChatGPT and Al. And Al.
No, I think that's what they should have called it. Al.
No, it's AI, but it looks
I love it.
like Al.
Al.
You don't have to call me Al. You can call me Al.
Personality, like
All right, there you go. There's Al.
Jim's got a great point about.
And don't forget about Bard. What?
Oh, because you have a great point about helping with travel. I mean, as it is now, the standalone product, the GPT-4 or whatever, is great for helping you a lot better than doing other types of organization on other platforms. But it is really cool now that they have this plugin. You know how we love plugins and extensions, right?
The APIs, yeah.
So, and one of the biggest companies that's using it, and I'm sure it's in beta, but it's just a matter of hours or days or weeks before it comes out. It's just too good. Is Expedia, right? So Expedia is going to do everything. I mean, you're going to get. It'll probably print your boarding passes. It'll send you notifications to your phone. It's time to leave the airport. It's going to do everything.
I like that, John. Please don't call me late for dinner.
It probably is. It's going to say, the traffic's. It's just all the real time information so Expedia with this plugin, that's going to be great. And I'm not worthy, but somehow I got on off the wish list for the browser alpha version of ChatGPT, which is, I guess, is GPT-4.
I think
which
so.
comes with the premium. And then when they initially announced it, because I don't know, I don't have anything else to do, so I signed up for the alpha. Oh, I want to connect to the internet. I don't care about September 21, right? I want to know now. And oh my goodness, it really works. Everything is. I mean, you still have a few hallucinations where it kind of gives up and gives you false information, but it's a lot better when it can have stuff from the past 2 years. So it'll go in there in real time. Like, for example, you can look at a news article that just came out, tell me about it, type in the URL, and it already knows about it.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I just think that the real time thing is kind of nifty.
Oh yeah, and when it
100%.
starts talking, just like the G's and the A's that we have around the house, it'll be incorporated into all of that, and it'll just be with you wherever you go in your phone, and it will be helpful. But the thing that the things that really excite me are the things that you don't hear about. It's not the teacher stuff. And did you see where Italy has just banned GPT?
Yeah. I saw that.
And France is, I don't know, behind it somewhere. Yeah, Andrew, I'm sure that's been tried. They seem to recognize one another. That's what I've read anyway. So that would be, it is fun and I'm sure you could get it to go. But do you remember the Turing test, the Turing?
Oh yeah.
This stuff has done it.
It's crazy.
It passed the Turing test. So it is enough on the way to being helpful as far as conversationalism goes.
Yeah.
And it can translate stuff
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
really cool too. I mean, that's
right,
super cool.
because we travel internationally quite a bit.
Hmm.
And as much as I would like to learn a different language, these things
They
will.
make it so you don't have to.
Right, right. It's the old babble fish stick thing in your ear, and it's just a universal translator.
Yeah,
So, and the fact that it can
Yeah,
it
good
can
point.
find medical
yeah,
information before the
yeah.
doctors would see it is just going to be life changing
Totally
for
agree. Totally
you know,
agree.
especially us old folks.
No,
What do
I
you think,
hear you.
Andrew?
A lot of security issues and identity theft possibilities are getting legislators worked up. Of course. Of course. Anytime you have something new like that, anytime you come out with anything like new like that, it's always going to stir up something, you know?
I like going back to the analogy of the telephone book. It
Yeah.
wasn't that long ago that we all had
Yeah.
our telephone
Yeah.
numbers, our addresses, our locations were right there in a great big book that anybody could look at.
I agree.
Not so much these days. And,
I know.
yes, it's kind of cool, but things will change and things will adapt and things will come along for that.
It's just so, and we've just gotten so advanced, and it's almost in a scary way, sort of. And
It's a little creepy sometimes.
well,
Yeah.
and sometimes I think that can be I'll give you a perfect example. Something we used to do, our little league used to put together what we called a yearbook. It had every single player's address and phone number in it.
And
And their pictures and all this stuff of the team and everything else. And it's just like, wow, we didn't really realize what we were doing, but that was so that was just having that book and physically where somebody could take it and do it. So it was just crazy. And then they stopped doing that. And then everything went digital and said, well, no, we're not going to do it on digital. Cause then if somebody steals that, it's just like, so it can get scary. That's just the thing that we have,
oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, there's a lot to be taken into account.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, still have paper phone books delivered annually. Still, some folks. Well, that's true, especially
really
for short people.
these days, they're very thin these days, and they're mostly have to do with businesses. So, yeah, and it's nice to have a directory, but
Yeah,
you don't want people to know.
You don't have any white pages, right? You don't have nobody with their phone numbers out there anymore.
You can still find numbers, but it's you really have to do some searching.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. I love it though. Good stuff. What so one thing that I noticed too, one thing that I would like to see or just some kind of development and work on too is the video end of it. I know Ron in our group told us the other day about the one that will take your video, look at it and analyze it and give you some chapters and all that kind of stuff. That's super cool. That's kind of neat that it's actually getting information that way. But again, almost scary.
Yeah, well, like our YouTube videos have for a while now had the capability of being automatically chaptered or where they create chapters. So it's just an extension of that or a follow on to that, I think. And that's all good stuff for us, at least as creators. So that's yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. That's an interesting one though, even with with all of the different languages. You mentioned languages and stuff. I think it's not going to be long till when you're sitting there listening that it automatically translates for you in that other language. Usually you have a translator like at the UN or whatever, you'll see a bunch of translators along with the delegates and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I think eventually AI will take over that. AI will be the one translating whatever someone speaks. I mean, I really think that I think it's that close that it's going to be
already started, but yeah, you're right. Now, the thing of all of this is that it needs to be still checked because
100%.
Because this chat stuff, I love the term that they use. It's hallucinates, they hallucinate, they make stuff up and things just like are created out of thin air. And that's so they're great as a tool to be
Yeah.
used,
Yeah.
but as far as a replacement directly for a lot of things, no, that's
Yeah.
not what it's meant for yet.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it'll get there.
Yeah.
I think that's a ways away, but the advancements are just so intriguing.
What one thing that's interesting, I don't know if y'all use this, but way back when it first started, I think it was Dragon something speaking.
Naturally speaking, yeah, Dragon.
Naturally speaking.
Sure.
I used to use that just to see it. I mean, just to find out and oh my gosh, that's like so different now. I mean, it's just like, oh my God, it's incredible.
It finally works well.
I know.
That's the key. We have a friend who's a professional writer, and he's a New York Times bestseller writer, and he does all of his stuff now with dictation. He has arthritis in his hands. He's my age. He's an old guy, and he can't do the typing that he used to, and so he tried all these different tools, the dictation tools, and going way back. But just Microsoft Word does a great job.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's wonderful.
Amazing. Yeah, it is. It's good. It's good stuff.
So there's good and bad. One thing that was interesting, because I asked a teacher, I said, how do you guys feel, about students and plagiarism and all that kind of stuff, or whatever, just getting the same report and all that kind of stuff. She said, what the teacher responded to me was really kind of funny. She said, yeah, I kind of like it. I can grade papers now really easily. Because she uses it to grade the papers, and she says it's fantastic for that. She says so, but I do see your point. I get where you're coming from, but so I think you have to kind of weigh the situation out.
It's
wonderful. So
yeah.
Or for teaching, you can ask it to explain something. It's like, okay, give it a complicated math problem. It gets to the end. Okay, well, big deal. How'd you get there?
Yeah, how did you reach that solution? Yeah, that's cool.
And then
it does it.
It'll show you.
I know, it's so cool.
You can't put the genie back in the bottle. I mean, because this idea, and another tech thing that we could talk about is trying to ban TikTok, or trying to to keep kids from accessing their social media. Now they could probably do that in school during school hours, or even just in school at any time. But at home, no, I don't think that should be regulated. But so there's all kinds of things that we're talking about here.
It's
and
true.
Maybe we should ask ChatGPT what they think.
Exactly. Mike says, I look it up in the encyclopedia. Another thick book that you can stand on, which is very nice. And now you have to stand on a CD, and it's kind of tough. You don't get the same height that you used to with that.
Right. So. It's just really amazing. I remember when all this stuff was changing.
Yeah, no, I know.
And I probably bought one of the last encyclopedia volume sets that was ever produced, because somebody thought I should still have it.
I hear you. I get it.
Well, they look good on the wall, They look real good in the bookcase.
Yes, very interesting.
Yeah, but they didn't travel well in the RV.
Let me ask you guys a technical question about this TikTok thing, right? Okay, so in Italy, obviously they're attempting to ban the URL OpenAI, right? Well, there are VPNs. There's ways of getting around that. There's all kinds
like
of
I said, there's no way of actually being able to ban it completely. You can slow it down, you can make it hard to get, but there are ways around any of that, as you know. So I don't think it's a promoting big deal.
That, but it's like when we were kids, our parents, they decided to lock up the liquor cabinet, for example, right? And they created that. In Italy is a great example because they have very low alcoholism in Italy because alcohol is part of the food, right? But when you take it away and say you ban it, you make it more valuable and more desirable because kids can't get to it. I think not enough people are talking about that. That, you know, kids are going to open the liquor cabinet. They're going to figure out a way to do it. Just like getting their TikTok. You know, you can't. There's 2
I
billion.
think that's
people
too much information, really, man.
Kind of a prohibition kind of thing. Yeah, no, you know, and
when it's prohibited, it's something that you know, there's that
the desire increases a lot of times. Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, I understand that, but I also understand the point to regulate something. I think at some point you have to regulate some things, and I think age is a big thing. You know what I'm saying? I think that plays into it a little bit. Yeah,
they'll figure it out, but trying to ban it, I think, is kind of not a good exercise. It's a futile thing. Yeah. You're not going to be able to ban it. You're just going to make it more maybe hard to get, but maybe more attractive for some people. Who knows?
What do you guys think of universal age verification? If there's a way to use some type of biometric on a phone to truly verify your age as a user, I don't even know if this is possible, but it would sure be handy for every parent out there to be able to make sure that their kids are at least of age, I guess.
If that could be done in a secure way, then possibly I can see where it would open that information up.
Yeah.
Anytime. Yeah. Anytime you have data, though, data can be manipulated. I don't care what it is. Inside, outside, whatever. Yeah. Yeah,
and
exactly.
Talking about kids, you know, Dan, Michael, that in those situations now, you have to be very careful.
Yeah, I just have to be really careful, I think, a lot of times. There you go, Chris, asking you a question, Mark. Did you find anything about your scanning QR code that showed No, I know. I've looked age of majority.
Let us know, so she can.
Thank you, Chris.
Right about
Michael, both you guys. It'll come around.
I know my kids' ages and info about that. Well, that's good, Richard. That's good.
Well, you know, I have grandkids, and I don't, see them on social media. I know that they have some such.
Yeah.
And that's fine with me.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess they can do it with trees. You can find out how old a tree is by how many rings it has and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if a human's that way, because I got lots of rings I'm working on.
Right. How are you going to do that? It doesn't tie it to the person. You have to tie it to the person because you have to have an account in some way. So, it'd be cool if it was just an automatic thing, but maybe there is a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fingerprint when you're born, maybe fingerprint's the only way to really know. And then you got fingerprint now you're talking about intrusiveness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, that's a big deal. When you start doing that and saying, oh, well, let me see his fingerprint or whatever. Now are you going to fingerprint everybody? Oh my Lord. This
DNA on everything.
Could be brutal. I mean, it could be.
We'll
I'm just saying.
In the DNA database, and when we got the chips in the arm,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we laugh, but I mean, think about it. Most of our animals are. Most of them get chipped now. Yeah, they get chipped now. So, I mean, take that for whatever it's worth. Oh, well, anyway, let's see here. Let me go real quick. That would be totally dependent on the security age databases used and how advanced culture. Yeah, there's so many factors that play into that. It could be brutal. Hey, guys, thanks for coming on with me. We're going to go into the backstage pass, talk to the rest of the community. I appreciate y'all doing that. It was awesome. Kind of the spur of the moment. Just set it up and did it. But, appreciate y'all coming in and talking tech with me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody that watched today. I appreciate you. We're going to go into the backstage pass. If you're not a member, be sure to become a member so that way you can join us. We would love to have you come join us. We will talk to you guys soon, and we'll get back next week. We should be able. I don't know if we'll be back on track or not, but we'll see. Oh, and then Huey says, I'll see you backstage. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, gang. See ya. Bye, all.